You know what's crazy? When I look back over all the years I spent dieting, every single time I found a new diet, I thought this was going to be the one. And I mean that. I wasn't going into these diets thinking, well, here's another stupid thing I'm going to try for 3 weeks and then quit. No. I would find something new, start reading about it, get completely convinced by the logic behind it, and think, oh my God, this makes perfect sense. This is what I've been doing wrong. This is why I haven't been able to lose the weight. Okay, I finally figured it out. And I would be so excited. And I know some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. You find some new way of eating and suddenly you're watching all the videos. You're reading everything. You're ordering the stuff. You're clearing out the refrigerator. Monday morning, baby, we're changing our life. And I did that over and over and over again. I've done keto. I've done low carb. I've done carnivore. I've done Weight Watchers. Jenny Craig, right back in the 90s. Juice fasting, water fasting, dry fasting, HCG, and probably some other crazy stuff I've forgotten about by now. And here's what made the cycle so convincing. Some of it did work for a while. I would lose some weight. And I'd think, see, I knew it. I found the one. But then eventually, I'd stop. I'd try to eat normally again. The weight would start coming back. And pretty soon, I was right back on the internet looking for the next one. And what I didn't understand at the time was that I had gotten completely caught up in this idea that somewhere out there was this perfect diet I just hadn't discovered yet. Like my body was some kind of combination lock. And if I could just find the right numbers, click, everything would finally work. So I kept trying to hack it. Maybe I need fewer carbs. Maybe I need no carbs. Maybe I need to fast longer. Maybe sugar is the problem. Maybe I need more protein. Maybe I need to eat practically nothing. It was always, what can I take away next? And eventually, after doing this for decades, I got exhausted. I got to a point where I basically said, I'm not doing another damn diet. Because I couldn't take getting my hopes up anymore. And that's the part I don't think people talk about enough. It's not just frustrating to regain weight. It's emotionally exhausting to keep believing you finally found the answer and then end up right back where you started. After enough times, you start thinking, maybe nothing is going to work for me. And for a few years, that's basically where I was. I wasn't happy about my weight. I hadn't suddenly become content with it. I just felt like, what else am I supposed to do? I've tried everything. And eventually, something changed. But it wasn't because I found another diet. It was because I started asking a completely different question. Instead of, what's the next thing I can eliminate? I started asking, what does the human body actually need? What does metabolism need? What does the liver need? What does thyroid function need? What happens when you've spent years restricting and dieting and fighting your body? And for the first time in my life, I started exploring an approach that felt almost completely backwards from everything I'd been taught about losing weight, especially carbs and fruit and natural sugar. Listen, for a woman who had spent half her life believing carbs and sugar were basically the devil, this was terrifying. But I had already tried everything else. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to experiment. I'm going to stop assuming everything I've believed about weight loss is automatically true, and I'm going to see what happens. And that experiment is eventually what became my full body reset. And now here's the funny part. After all those years of starting a new diet and saying, this is going to be the one, I refused to say that this time. Do you hear me? I didn't know. I was experimenting. I was watching my body. I was learning. And then it started working for me. And I kept going and kept learning. And eventually, I had lost 75 pounds. And I remember looking at myself thinking, I never thought I would get back here again. So when I look back now, the biggest difference wasn't that I finally became more disciplined. Lord knows, I'd had discipline before. I changed the question. I stopped spending all my energy trying to figure out how to eat less and take more away, and started trying to understand what my body actually needed. And sometimes I think about how many years I spent searching for the one, when maybe what I needed all along was to stop searching for another diet. And that's the lesson.